We are the Why Not podcast.
What's up? Happy 420 to all the smokers out here. We out here representing.
Nigga, no, let me go find my half-lit blood, bro. Hold on, nigga. Nigga, I gotta burn somewhere, nigga.
You gotta burn some, nigga. You gotta burn some. That's what I'm saying.
Nigga, I got some burning somewhere. Nigga.
Get some, nigga. Get some. I'm gonna wait on you.
Motherfucking Why Not podcast. Corona cannot keep us down, nigga. Fuck you mean, bro?
We keep Corona away, nigga. We keep Corona away, nigga.
Hey, but bro, listen, the re-up is a situation, my G. The re-up is a situation.
Hey, bro.
It feels like what are those heist movies that Nicolas Cage was in? A Gun in 60 Seconds? nigga. Oh, nigga. I feel like James Bond. Nigga.
You out here, nigga. You out here. You gotta be out here with it, nigga. I found like 3 different stashes. I had 3 different places I could stash some shit. But anyway, I'm not buying anything from nobody. Nigga. I don't know shit. I don't like shit. I don't go outside. Okay? I don't want nobody coming to me. So nobody better come to me, nigga.
Shout outs to you. Welcome. Back at it, the motherfucking Why Not podcast.
Episode.
Your boy eMKhei-B, the homie.
MYN, man. Episode 26. 26. Yes, 26.
Yes, motherfuckers. What the fuck day is it today, nigga? Today's a motherfucking Monday.
It's motherfucking 420, nigga. That's what it is. Don't tell me that's my life.
Nigga, ask me why I'm mad, nigga. Ask me why I'm mad, nigga. Please ask me why I'm mad, nigga. Because I'm mad, nigga. Okay? Mad rapper, why you mad, nigga?
Why you mad, mad rapper? Why you mad?
I'm mad, bro. You know how it's like growing up, there's some shit you just don't understand. You think you know it until you get older and you notice it. One of those is a song, I think who was it? Ringo Madlingos. When he says, Ogo wahamba pekai, elikai, selokai. Uyabanda apa ekai. Listen, bro. Nigga, I didn't understand that song until last night, nigga. Oh my God, nigga. Oh my Jesus Christ, nigga.
What the fuck happened that night?
Initially we were quarantined. I was quarantined with my girlfriend, and after 21 days, she was like, fuck this shit, nigga, I'm going.
Can't do this no more, nigga. She can't do this shit no more, nigga. Oh shit, your connection.
Signed up for 21 days.
Yeah,
nigga. She was like, nigga, I only signed up for 21 days of this shit and gone, nigga.
Come on, nigga.
Which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was cool. I mean, you know, it was dope that during that initial quarantine time, it was like a workable environment, you know, nothing crazy happened, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I was like, alright, cool. Then I need my space to do my own things. Does not leave. And firstly, I fuck up and I try to take a midday nap and wake up at like midnight. Now it's midnight and I'm fresh.
That's why your ass was texting me at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
what the fuck is this nigga doing up?
Nigga, midnight and I'm fresh, nigga, I'm up and it's cold as a motherfucker. And there's no fucking like body lava, nigga. You know what body lava is, nigga? You know what body lava is, nigga? Nigga, if you took an ice cube, right? Hold on. If you took an ice cube and you put it on somebody's thighs and that fucking ice cube melts, nigga, that's fucking body lava right there, nigga.
That's what it is.
That keep you warm like that, nigga.
That's what
keep
it is.
The fucking winter at bay, nigga. Oh, nigga, it's been bad. That's why I'm mad, nigga.
So your ass,
my whole fucking
you could have survived. You didn't last 1 motherfucking day since she left.
Not even 24 hours, nigga.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
I'll be at 4 o'clock in the morning like, hey, babe, listen. I don't know what you talk about space and all that jazz.
Oh, no, what the
all I know is I'm cold.
Yo,
but we survive, we get by.
It's been a crazy time.
On your side?
Well, I had the weekend alone as well. the missus had vacated the premises. She went back home. She was like, nah, I miss this motherfucker too much. If I stay here with you, you gonna get me mad over some small shit, and I might kill you, cause this shit is the
Or you
built
gonna
up.
get me pregnant.
No.
Hey,
Holla.
in the
Nah.
times of Corona, the
Hey,
use of
listen.
niggas is hot. You can't just be.
Mm-mm. But I'm saying, in Gaza December. Oh my God, I tell you, now more than ever. But yeah, so she went back home. She saw the family. It was beautiful, bro. And she came back this morning. So shit.
Hold on, nigga. Wait, nigga. Let's have this conversation about our living arrangements under Corona. So, Shorty was around, and this was the first time she bounced.
Yeah.
So she was also here from beginning of lockdown.
Listen,
Yeah, motherfucker. People only signed a short-term
bro,
contract.
we didn't sign up for this shit.
After day 21, when these niggas said extension,
Bro.
they said, we need to
We need to.
terms, bro.
We gotta reevaluate the whole thing.
Yeah,
bro.
nigga.
It ain't shit.
I need some space from you, nigga.
But yeah, no, it was good, bro. It was good. I got to fuck around, play some loud music all day, play some rap music all motherfucking day. Shit.
Yeah.
And then and then she came back, was playing some R&B in the morning. I'm like, God damn, nigga, God damn. When's the last time you had Shaheem, nigga? I was playing that nigga shit. Man.
Who fucking Jaheim?
Jaheim, nigga. I was like,
That's-
man. Come
That's
on.
who you should be playing.
I know.
Like, if you playing Jaheim, you might as well be playing some hip hop shit. That ain't some R&B shit.
I know.
You know?
That's the only shit I play. That type of shit. But I still miss my rap, man. But no, it was good, bro. It's all good. It's all beautiful.
What have you learned about Corona? Or what have you learned that is Corona relevant in these days? You mentioned earlier a documentary.
Yo. The problem is, you don't know what the fuck to trust, right? You don't know who to trust. That's the problem. But apparently, I just need to do deeper research. Now, the other problem is that all of the shit that I learned about is shit that's happening in China, and the Chinese ain't on the internet.
Can't trust nothing what these niggas is saying, bro.
Firstly, you can't trust what they say. And these motherfuckers.
Or you can't even trust what they say. Exactly.
They're not on the internet, so nobody knows. Everybody just takes somebody else's word for it that spoke to someone in China. So, but apparently, this scientist, this lady called Shi Zhen Li or some shit like that. Yeah, Shi Zhen Li. And her work is basically studying the viruses contained in different animals, right? And part of them animals that got her interest was bats. So it seems like they were correct in saying that the shit came from bats, but not necessarily from just eating the motherfuckers. She has been
associating with those motherfuckers, like calling yourself Batman. Bet you Bruce Wayne got Corona. Get money, Bruce Wayne got fucking Corona.
Listen, if you look at it this way, this nigga been quarantined. He been quarantined
right now.
This nigga been quarantined the whole time. He comes off in a mask as soon as he goes public. This nigga been got Corona, bro. That's what I'm saying.
And he been fucking with the bats though. Continue.
Exactly. Batman ain't shit for real, bro. But
I'm telling you, nigga. Everything
shit.
in life is a reminder. Okay, just sometimes it's fine to be a billionaire. You see what happens?
That's it.
Batman. This is who we have to blame for fucking Donald Trump.
That's true. He gave that nigga that ambition.
That's who the fuck we have to blame for fucking Donald Trump. Bruce Wayne came up with this billionaire mentality that just because I got money, I can be whatever the fuck I want. Okay, now Iron Man did it, but he did it well.
Iron Man created this, like, come on, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump got some shit like that.
Let's not get sidetracked by motherfucking
But anyway, bats, right?
This doctor in China.
This bitch is out here finding ways to transmute. Hope that's the right word. Transmute or transmutate, but take the viruses from the bats and put them in motherfucking humans. Not even do it
The
herself.
fuck? Oh.
Exactly. Everybody's like, okay, cool, okay. Hold on. So we calm, right? So your job is to find out how the fuck we gonna end up being infected by these bats. That's what your job is. Why? Why are you doing this? For what? And there's no answer. There's no good logical answer for why the fuck she's doing this
No.
shit.
Tell me more about this story. So
So
she's learning how to give
yes,
us fucking bat herpes or whatever.
which is exactly
Right?
what the fuck corona is. That's exactly what the fuck it is. That's bad herpes, nigga. That's what the fuck we got. Herpes don't go away. The virus don't go away. That's what.
Bats be like, oh, y'all niggas go get it down, nigga. Why you think we be living in bats all these years, nigga? We be fucking social distancing, nigga. What the fuck? You think this shit is sweet, nigga? Mother nature.
Bats been
Not
getting their
nice,
asses
bro.
kicked, bro. But now we got this shit. So basically, what they was talking about is how they were studying when they were studying the virus, the COVID virus. And I wonder if it was called 19 because it was supposed to be released in 2019. But anyway, once they were studying it, they found that the cells were similar to the SARS. You remember the SARS epidemic a few years ago, which was also.
And I heard about that shit, but I thought, I'm sure that was some white people shit.
No,
Like, that shit happened in Africa, but
I don't think so. Or maybe not that much. Because
only SARS I know about it on the African continent is African Revenue Services. And those motherfuckers is here. And those niggas ain't giving nobody no breaks.
Them niggas
And
are
then
still
no
here.
conditions.
They're
Those
still here.
Yeah.
Nigga. Them niggas ain't got
But
for
I
lockdown.
know SARS, the illness, yes.
Yeah.
Or the disease.
So it was also a respiratory system type of virus which fucked with your shit. So now what seems to have happened is that she then engineered to get the what's it called? Ketones. Ketones are like the connecting blocks, right? The meshing gears. So the shit that will come and join into contact for and allow the virus to enter human skin, for instance. That's how you're able to contact the shit via someone coughing, even if it doesn't go to your mouth or whatever, it can stay in your shit and enter your skin actually. So
you get this shit through your pores, through osmosis and shit.
Nigga, it seems like it's possible. Like anything is possible at this point because what they were talking about is, oh no, not osmosis. My bad, right? Not through your skin. It's once it gets through your entry points, like your nose, your mouth, your eyes, or whatever, your ears. That's what allows it to then enter the membranes, your body to enter the bloodstream and all of that shit. So otherwise, they'll just be bouncing around like wax in your ears, or or snot in your fucking nose. It'll just be bouncing around.
So this bitch is trying to figure out how does this shit bond with our DNA so it can
yeah. How does it enter? How does it enter the body and fuck with you for real? So they used what's found because now the problem is they know the virus in the bats, right? They know what it looks like. They know what it's composed of. And now when studying the virus in humans, the same virus, they found the differences being the reverse engineering and creation of these ketones that'll penetrate the human membranes specifically. That's why animals can't get this shit. That's why it's fucking with humans only, because it's been engineered to be able to infiltrate the human body and whatever. And that isn't natural. It wouldn't mutate. The virus wouldn't mutate in nature from bats naturally mutate to be able to infect humans. It had to be like it's specifically the same shit that is in SARS. It's specifically what allowed SARS to become a problem, to become infectious as much as it was, and all of that. So without that, it would be as dangerous as it wanted to be, but it wouldn't be able to infect us, right? So they found that was like one of the key
So
things.
what the fuck is that? So the thing is that this bitch created a version that could like attach to our shits, and that's the shit that came out. Is this what they say?
No, that's one of the things to show that this shit was engineered. It was created by humans, because that wouldn't occur naturally. And then the nucleic acid, like it's the virus's DNA type of shit, that also has been engineered to survive and infect humans. That was likened, I think, some 96% to shit. I forget what it was likened to, but they found like it was basically a replication of another virus that's existed before as well, some other flu that's been examined to be able to fuck up humans. That at that level, they put that shit in the nucleic acid of the shit, which is the DNA, basically telling it how to fuck us up, and then enabled it to be able to access our systems to fuck us up. So as per that shit, as per the docu I watched, none of that shit made sense to have occurred naturally. And then
So wait, what's the name of this documentary? Is this just on Netflix?
it's on. I actually watched it on Facebook. I'm gonna try and check. I'm gonna check
Oh
it out
shit.
and try and share it for you. It's like an hour
Oh,
long.
is it like one of those conspiracy theory docu's? Is it
Not a-
shot like an episode of what's that Action Bronson series where they got high and watched alien YouTube videos?
Nah. That one is shot as some private investigative journalism type shit, where they're uncovering the shits that the media is not showing type shit. But now the difficulty is that researching the shit is the Chinese aren't on our internet, so it's tough to get the direct story from the source type shits, or get whatever from them really.
Well, listen, I'm still out here, pondering conspiracy theories, and the latest
No, but
one,
wait, hold on. Let me just close this shit off, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
the whole thing is with the findings of the virus composition. It's linked back to the same bitch, the Shi Zhengli. She is in Wuhan. Her lab is in Wuhan, where this shit then came from. They then investigated the what did they call them? The food market. They had a specific name for that food market. Yeah, they investigated that shit. They didn't find no past. They didn't find any traces of this shit. And the fact that people who were infected first came from all different places, having had no contact with this food market and whatever, but being in proximity, of course, in Wuhan. So it's rumored to have said that one of the viruses being kept in that lab had escaped somehow, had got loose, and that's how the shit is spread. Because there are those viruses, there are coronaviruses, different strains that are kept in that lab as she's going through the experiments and whatever. So at any point in time, even if it wasn't her this time, but at any point in time, if anyone were to steal that shit, like some blacklist shit or some NCIS shit or whatever the fuck, some Batman shit, if anyone were to steal the shit and let it loose, this shit would come alive again. This shit would happen again. So that's a reality. So it just doesn't make sense. Like, why are you investigating how the fuck to fuck humans up? How the fuck to
Because
create pandemics?
as human beings, bruh, we got too much time on our hands. This is the problem with life and consciousness. Niggas get bored and idle. And they start trying to do shit.
Bruh.
You know, this is what happens. Niggas like got so bored and they're like, okay, let's plan ahead. Let's try to kill ourselves with something. Let's find something that can't kill us. Figure out what it would need to go to be able to kill us. What the fuck you mean? And then let it loose so it starts killing us now. Like, yeah, let's actually put it to the test.
Now the question is,
conspiracy.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, continue.
No, I was just gonna say, who allows this? How can the government allow this shit? How can you allow someone who's running a lab to pull this shit off? Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
And I have a conspiracy theory, okay? Fucking Bill Gates, somebody in Microsoft, okay? I figured this shit out. I was pondering, nigga. So, a nigga like rolled one, lit one, spliff. And then I was thinking to myself, if I am Microsoft and I've got this suite of products called Microsoft Office and Microsoft, all of this jazz,
All of that shit.
Teams and all this jazz.
Yeah.
If I'm Microsoft and I'm essentially a company that can enable other companies to do whatever the fuck from wherever the fuck, the one thing I need is an opportunity to do a proof of concept. Right? They just needed an opportunity to do a proof of concept. Firstly, this shit apparently is not killing people at a high rate. This shit is here, it's gonna kill motherfuckers, right? But it's not that situation where everybody who's gotten in contact with it died. You know, so the mortality rates aren't high.
It's really
but it's there and it can kill you. So it's enough to convince people to be scared, right? And stay at home. It's enough to create a situation where people will need to make an effort to figure out if it's possible to work from home. Microsoft just said, I need an opportunity to do a proof of concept. Bill Gates jetted to Wuhan and said, yo, my nigga, I need these niggas indoors for like 3 months. I need motherfuckers to just like, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some spliffing in it and think. Everybody's on this shit now, bro. And I'm saying Teams and Microsoft specifically because like integration-wide, that motherfucker has got a whole lot of everything to allow or enable the social distancing version of corporate life.
Yep.
Yes, we've got things that help us do social things, but corporate life can be managed on these clouds and platforms that Microsoft Teams and other companies and software providers, you know, can cash out on. So this is the perfect fucking proof of concept opportunity for these niggas. If companies know, they realize that, yo, I can split my overheads in half because half these motherfuckers don't need to be here, you know, and whatever that means in saving money, and this actually can work and motherfuckers do function like this.
And they fire people as well. They fire people that are said to not be essential.
Yeah, because now they understand, like, yeah, nigga, now your value as a resource is not really you physically being there.
Yep. Technically.
I don't need you to be here really for you to actually be working, you know, which means I might be able to negotiate different terms. So my conspiracy theory is this is an entire procurement process. Okay, the world government is procuring Microsoft Teams from Microsoft, and they are running a proof of concept to see if the world government can, you know, if Microsoft Teams will be enough to run
the world.
The world.
Yes.
You know? That's my conspiracy theory. I haven't seen any documentaries or anything like that. But I have been, you know, checking out some shit that might be of interest in the times of Corona. And one of those things is the situation of like what happens with lease agreements during the lockdown. Specifically along the question of like, if you can't pay your what the fuck is this?
You're red, nigga. You're red.
You're red.
Yeah.
I've been in the Matrix too long, nigga. Everything looks the same now, nigga. Everybody wants my body, nigga. Everybody wants my
That's
body.
what it is. That's what it is, bro.
So if you can't pay your rent,
shout outs to the lawyer at the Why Not podcast, MK Pizza, MK Lawyer B. What up?
Nigga, listen. Hey, I'm trying to give you some general information out here. You know, I'm trying to give some disclaimers out here.
Drop some knowledge. Drop some knowledge.
So the question is, can you get kicked out by your landlord if you don't pay rent, right? Or if your lease expired at the end of last month, can your landlord kick you out, right? Or in the end of March was during lockdown.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. Lockdown regulation says evictions are suspended during lockdown. In fact, it goes as far as municipalities can't cut your water.
Oh, shit.
And I guess if you're going to follow the logic, I guess that's what happened with load shedding. Load shedding is at home, social distancing. You know?
Yeah, we can't.
Sitting in a dark room because he's the only motherfucker with no power. You know?
Nigga.
Load shedding is living that life right now.
So
So like it's that.
hold on. So what happens if I had my water cut in February or in like
Are they gonna bring it back?
yeah?
I don't know, nigga. Well, nigga, you've been surviving since February without water. Obviously, you've made a plan. Obviously, you found a borehole or something, but nigga, come on, nigga. Or some ostrich eggs, something, nigga.
Hey, bro, listen, I got watermelons. That's all I got. But
I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's effective to that extent to say now your shit's gonna come back. But I do know like shit happening in the middle of now. So for example, if I can't pay my rent and this motherfucker's on my ass about shit, technically ain't shit they can do, because to evict me, you need to get a court order, then you need to get a sheriff to come evict me from my place. Ultimately, to do a lawful eviction. And to do all of that under the conditions of
it's really
Corona
impossible.
are going to be tricky, right?
Impossible.
Yeah. So, yeah. So if you're a tenant and you lose your job and can't pay rent, stay your ass at home, okay?
So
when the landlord call you, tell him I ain't got it. Okay?
I ain't got it. I can put some on it. Shit.
Yeah. I can put some on it.
Let me put some on it. But so another question is then, so do I gotta prove that I ain't got no income during this time, or I can just?
But that's the thing, though. That's a tricky thing, right? So if I'm in court, if this motherfucker takes you to court because he's trying to evict you, then I guess you'd have to,
to show that you were.
But no, I don't even. Nigga, no, bro. Like, it's evictions in general, bro. It's like, even if you breach your lease, bro, if your lease said, thou shalt not smoke weed in the house, and the fucking landlord walks in on you smoking a fat one, technically, an eviction just on those terms in these times would be tricky to execute. So, so there's that. That's a challenge. But I guess it's beneficial to people who are in a situation where I can't help this situation. I can't help if I lose my job as a result of fucking Bill Gates and Microsoft trying to make more money.
Bro.
I ain't got no stocks.
I ain't done shit. But now and then with the not paying shit. So you don't pay. Let's say you can, right? You can, but you don't want it. Like all of us. Like fucking all of us.
It's my land in the first place.
Yeah, bro.
That's what these are the lands we should be taking back. Everybody should just be putting in a claim for the apartment you live in. Just cut them off our face. Just challenge it. The state of security. Challenge it. Where I live, can I go get a claim and own this piece of property?
Just right here. I ain't gotta move. I'm good.
Yeah.
But so I don't pay for, let's say, as we all predict this shit is gonna last 3 months. I don't pay for 3 months, and then the lockdown is over. Am I due all of the money that I was supposed to pay now, as in abundance?
So this falls. A lot of shit falls into this category. The first one is under the question of what can the landlord do? That's the first general question. So what can the motherfucker do? I say don't terminate. If you can't kick the motherfucker out, why are you terminating the agreement in the first place?
Okay.
Whether he's not paid or the lease has come to an end. I think your best position is to have a contract with this motherfucker and a debt that is accruing. So the shit that you ain't paid yet is going to be paid once this shit closes with interest. Because all of your lease agreements should already have a provision catering for you paying interest on late payments.
Okay.
So there's that. Then the question with that is, when am I going to pay? So if I'm fucked for 3 months and I can't pay, and then I start and then I work and then I get a new job, like, do I have to pay everything up front? Is it Obviously, it would make more sense for people to say, listen, if I'm a landlord, I'll let you stay. There will be rent owed to me. There will be interest that accrues on that on that rent, right? That's if the lease is still in place.
Mm-hmm.
If the lease is expiring during the lockdown, maybe extend the lease, but extend it for 3 months, 6 months or something.
Yeah.
But a shorter period instead of like a 12-month cycle, send it for 6 months or maybe longer, because you still want time for that motherfucker to pay you back for the 3 months where he was staying at your place for free. So if you say extending for 3 months, and in that 3 months the nigga only has money to pay you those 3 months worth of rent, and then he leaves and you find a new tenant, then you need to be chasing this nigga for 3 months worth of rent. You know what I'm trying to say?
So now, wait, hold on. So
yeah,
does the law does it give the specific options as to what the landlord can do? What are the landlord's options that they can accept and negotiate with this, or is it up to me and my landlord?
I mean, listen, contracts, you can negotiate anything with your landlord, right? So, for example, in the States, I saw this clip today. Some white dude was pissed, bro. He was pissed. He was fucking pissed at the government. Corona. Apparently, getting like $1,500 of a monthly stimulus check. Right? But these motherfuckers are expected to cover everything in that $1,500. And apparently the banks and shit like that they were, I don't know what they call it, a furlough or something, an arrangement where if you don't pay, you will pay it once the lockdown is due, but it will all be due immediately. So if you miss 3 months of rent, you will need to pay that 3 months of rent in your first month after lockdown.
Shit.
And this nigga is mad. This nigga is like, what the fuck? Is y'all niggas stupid? Firstly, no 1.5 million taxpayers' money. Don't get too comfortable. Give me back my shit, nigga. Secondly, you banks and all that bullshit. Y'all niggas make billions or trillions on a quarterly basis in 3 months. And you're telling me in profit, not income. You make billions or trillions in a quarterly basis. You're telling me I have to be financially prudent and safe, but you motherfuckers with all the money, you're unsaved up. Your niggas need to be bailed out again,
bro.
Type of situation.
Yeah.
So then that goes to that situation to say you can negotiate as far as the lease. If you are in that position, yes, hypothetically you could negotiate to say, if my lease expires, or if my lease is still going, enter into an acknowledgement of debt or payment plan or whatever. I don't know if you can do it now in something, right? So that there's like an arrangement for, okay, I understand that there's money owed to you. I can't do that, but I ain't got it right now. But I undertake to get it back to you in 4 installments, separate from whatever rent I'll be paying you as a tenant after the lockdown has ended. So there's those questions. I don't know on your side, bro. Have you had any encounters or conversations with people about losing jobs and lease payments and having to move out? I know you share the space with people that side.
Nigga, why you out here looking like you at the damn Ronies, nigga? It's cold as shit where you is, nigga. What's going on?
Nigga, I'm in the fucking room, nigga, and the windows are open and it's cold, nigga. Like, you know my life, nigga.
Wait, hold on. Just on that point, I need to go into the house as well because the shit is cold as fuck out here, nigga.
Nah, nigga, let's just take a break, bro. We'll continue.
It's 5-0. Quarantine 16. 2020. Hey yo, I play 5-0 in a country that never loved me. A place called home, master flag right above me. My face, what the president uses when shit is ugly. Cock and cheese, I pull the trigger, save the wealthy from the hungry. Lock you in your place of residence, snatch your sedative. The family you feed off your hustle turns irrelevant. I see it all, homie, shit is devilish. But duty calls, yes sir, Mr. President, it's left, right. left go against, there's a chance you'll be buried with a bullet to the chest. My heart sheds a tear, but it's buried behind the vest. Cock the Glock back, lock, take aim at all the best. Yeah, a born sinner, put on the earth to be a winner. And 5-0's a little deeper than the get up. I bleed blue on black boots and keep my chin up, cause the politics and all of this, the real nigga killer. And y'all need to wake the fuck up chasing fantasies. The government won't come up with no remedies. My nigga, get your cake up by any means. Ufu no push his spine, fuck the enemies. We chillin' with the gods if all we see is each other. And all we gotta do is spread love like a mother. Put on your face mask, yeah, I see you, my brother. How you putting gloves on when you ain't never used the rubber?
Okay, we are go. See on.
Motherfucking Why Not podcast. Taking a young break, you know, because COVID-19 allows it. Just young shout outs to motherfuckers putting in hard work during this time. Motherfucker to note Mr. Mac Awesomeson, the KTN movement at large. These niggas been working overdrive, just like
053, nigga. 053 in the house.
February, they've been dropping like, you know, projects and singles. They dropped a 420 EP. I think it's like, 5 to 7 joints on that. There's a few singles that came out surrounding the project. I think the joint Ashes is on the project, if I'm not mistaken, or it was a separate single by ET.
Yeah, ET, Ashes was a separate single because 420 is just 5 joints, and yeah, it's not part of that. But it was dope as hell. For anybody listening, check out our last episode. We had that joint there. Shout outs to the whole Kimberley movement, man.
Yeah, shout outs again as usual to the homies in Durban, all the motherfuckers putting in work in Durban. Shout outs Robin Third Floor, shout outs Lungelo Manzi, shout outs J in the KwaZulu Republic movement, shout outs Silo Dimba, and the deeply rooted movement and what the fuck those niggas are doing. I haven't seen too much movement actually now that I think about it, as far as podcasts adapting to lockdown locally. I mean, I've seen the big, I guess the quote unquote big guys, Popcast, I've seen them do that.
Yeah.
The other motherfuckers that I know that podcast is the Dojo. Bona, they had pre-recorded like 3 episodes in one day to drop for like 3 weeks into the lockdown type of situation. So it hasn't really been new content.
Yeah.
The other cats is the Sobering podcast. I haven't seen much. I don't know if there's content. I'm sure there is. Maybe I just haven't been getting that content on my feed, but I haven't seen anything from those cats. I know there's quite a few others, but I don't know them. You know, those are the motherfuckers I'm aware of. But shout out to motherfuckers who are still able to adapt, bro, to the times. As weird as shit like Zoom is, I guess it makes this whole exercise a lot simpler than it is without, you know, using just the laptop, bro. Just for motherfuckers to gather around, you know, to have the different expertise that are required to set up recording alternatively, you know, and get that content out is usually more troublesome than just, you know, being at the crib, you know, having time to yourself. And if you're fortunate enough to have equipment and Wi-Fi or data, you know, being able to just create some shit and put it out there. So back from the motherfucking break, am I easy? Anything else on your side before we cut from the ads? The ads are just shout-outs. Yeah, because we give shout-outs all the time, nigga. What the fuck we need ads for? Nigga?
No. We need ads because I got motherfucking niggas with companies and shit that I still want to shout-outs. I'd be plugging my nigga's company, but that motherfucker still ain't got a name for this goddamn company. He just got product, which sounds like drugs, but it's not. Okay.
Wait.
Right. But yeah, soon enough I want to plug his shit because I really dig what he's pushing. But yeah, that's what it is. We back from the break, man. We back from a long 17 hour break.
Time lapse to the motherfuckers who are listening. The the first half of this was recorded yesterday.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
you know, I don't know, the fucking cables in the ocean that fucked up Telcom. Something happened and you couldn't connect. So we're picking it up from yesterday. And this is one of the conveniences that this shit like affords us, bro. Like ordinarily, if we'd set up the time and traveled to record at a studio in fucking Centurion with the homies,
Homie.
and we were working the whole day, we would record it overnight into the morning. If we lost recording, that's it until the next recording session.
It's gone, bro. It's gone. We've lost.
And
So
when we
much
come back,
shit.
it's never really the same way to just pick up convo from where you left off.
Yep.
We're still talking about life in the times of Corona, specifically around lease agreements. And I was just asking you if you've thought about, you know, what COVID-19 is going to mean for your living arrangements, or whether you know motherfuckers who had to deal with that situation.
Well, the thing is, it's crazy because here where I'm at, everybody's still working. Like, I think there are it's literally one person who, and I think Nakona, it's some kind of side hustle. She's a chef, so she was working in a restaurant, so that shut down, of course. But I think she's got enough side hustles to not really feel the pinch. But everybody else is still working. People are conference calling. People are on their laptops. People are Zooming for real fucking meetings. Work meetings rather. Let me not say real as if anything. But yeah, so this is the crazy part, because when this shit hit, I was chilling, right? I was like, nah, I'm not gonna pay my rent. I'm gonna wait to hear what she gotta say, right?
Yeah, what she gonna say, nigga?
What you
gonna
got?
do, nigga?
What you got?
I ain't got it. Nigga.
I ain't got
What's
it, bro.
gonna happen now, nigga?
Right? So I chilled, and she ain't say shit, and nobody said shit. And then I was like, fuck this shit. But that's before I had confirmed all the eviction shits, even though I had a hint about it. But I was like, nah, fuck this shit. Let me pay my shit. Because now, if she drags me anywhere down legally, what am I going to say? I'm still working, so I got an income. So what the fuck am I not paying
you
rent?
are culpable. At least you are at fault, nigga. I get a text just the other day, nigga. Yesterday morning or the day before, nigga. This show was on some the motherfucker that worked for the property manager. On some, notice you ain't paid your rent. Bitch, no. You ain't noticed shit. Shut the fuck up, okay? Well, firstly, for you to say shit like that, you are underestimating my maturity as a human being, nigga. You telling me we're going to work out and I ain't gonna pay my rent, nigga? What the fuck you mean, nigga? Fuck you mean, nigga?
So
I'd be mad sometimes. I'm like, what? How? Of all the motherfuckers whose numbers you could have fucked up, how is it me?
Yep.
Okay, how is it? Yeah, nigga, at least your ass is trying to run, nigga. This motherfucker's trying to lock me out for shit I ain't done. Nigga.
Shit
What
you
the
did,
fuck?
dude. You done paid your rent and it's still going down, my nigga. Might as well not pay it. But
yeah, and I think I also share the same experience as you, in the sense that like most of the people that I know have jobs that have been able to like adapt, or at least for now adapt and maintain staff loads and whatever. I was listening to Slicker. I was checking. He was doing an IG live with Black Les yesterday. And he was talking about how he had like 20 some odd employees, and he's down to like 11 now as a result of the COVID.
Damn, nigga. God damn.
You know, one of the homies on the Stockfell side was talking about how his business, he's had to like let go of some people. So yeah, I know it's a real thing, but like the people that I know personally, a lot of them are still in spaces where they're either essential services and they're working, or they are non-essential services but are still able to maintain the employment. Yeah, like working offline as things stand.
Yeah, and that's what it is, really.
Another thing that I saw, I've got like maybe 2 other points on life under COVID, right? The next one is COVID-19 and co-parenting. now as a co-parent myself, right?
Yep.
Somebody I love has a way of teasing to say as a victim of teenage pregnancy.
Wow, that is wild. Yep.
Yeah, like you make arrangements for like who's got the kid when, who picks up this, that, and the third. Then COVID comes and y'all niggas need to chill on that for a minute, like
Chill on the
where
whole
the baby
thing.
lives, right? Yeah, just relax on that. Then they relaxed the regulations, and they say that you require a certified copy of the abridged birth certificate as a parent, as I guess evidence to move around for purposes of collecting ingane. And now, corner, it's just like when you go to baby mom's house, you pick the baby up, you straight back to the crib. There's no, in betweens type of situations.
You can do that now.
Yeah. It was one of the recent amendments to the regulations. I think it happened last week or some shit like that.
Okay.
So yeah, the abridged birth certificate is the one that reflects the parents' information. So I guess that's to like link you to the birth certificate that relates to the child.
Yep.
My particular issue in this scenario is that I'm not reflected on my baby's birth certificate. I was there. Those motherfuckers took down my details, but I'm not there. And this is what COVID is bringing up. There you ask yourself questions like, hey,
wait, how the hell is that even possible? You ain't reflecting on the abridged. Ain't the abridged supposed to have the two parents?
That's the motherfucker that's supposed to have like my mom's name is on it.
And who the fuck's the dad's name if your shit ain't on it? Because that's the point of an abridged. Hey, bro, we gotta.
And she looks just like me, bro. She looks just like me, bro. now, but you see, now this is like COVID, like forcing you to, prioritize problem solving in life. Because this is something that I think is definitely something to like address when I can make proper time to attend at home affairs. I just hope it's not going to be an issue for me practically now when I do, go pick up my daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
The last thing is COVID-19 and funerals. This shit is...
That is the craziest part. That's been another thing. Wait, I need to shift.
Yeah, we were texting earlier.
Catching my eyes right there, nigga. Right motherfucking there. Hold on. Yeah, we were texting earlier though about that. Do you see me now?
Yeah. We were texting earlier about I was telling you that like I have to like make moves now from Joburg to the Eastern Cape. One of my uncles passed away. I don't know of what as yet, it's just been like the whole, thanks bro. It's just been the whole question of like, what the fuck do you do with a funeral during COVID-19? There's regulations, but you don't feel the need to look into them until you gas to do that shit.
Until, some shit comes up, yeah.
Yeah, so effectively, it's limited to close family. They've got specific words to define what that close family is, but it's really like, parent, grandparent. And then there is one generic, genetically word regulation that, say I was in a long-term relationship, but I wasn't married to somebody. So there is a clause there that is an open-ended, to slot other people who you may not be blood related to or who may not be your children. Like me, for example, this is my uncle. It doesn't say nephews and shit there. You know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't say nephews and shit on that thing. So there's that, right? So it's limited to specific people. The 50 people limit will still apply, My girlfriend had a death in the family in the early weeks of this shit. And, You know, she didn't go, but like shit went, you know, cops came through and, you know, we're trying to kick shit down, whatever, whatever. You know how this shit in the news is, like they come back to these motherfuckers, bro. You know, when we about there in the type situation. But they came through, but then I think the family was able to talk to them and say, all right, we're going to kick everybody. We're going to do a head count of 50 and kick everybody else out. Did a head count of 50 and kicked everybody else out. Okay. So there's a 50 limit that still applies. And for purposes of traveling, now this is where motherfuckers like me, you know, like our family is not in Joburg. You know, my family's in the Eastern Cape. So a motherfucker got a journey to the Eastern Cape, and there's many me's, not just in the world, but also in my family. So we need to travel. Can you travel for funeral purposes? And if so, what do you need to have? You need to have a certified copy of the death certificate and an affidavit commissioned by the SAPS. This thing is like an annexure to the regulations. It's literally like an affidavit that you need to go get.
So wait,
by the SAPS.
Wait. How do you get a certified copy of the death certificate if the death happens in EC and then the death certificate is in EC? How do they then get you the original for you to certify at this side? Or can they just send you the copy they've certified from their end?
Yeah, that's a technical difficulty with this whole certification. Like if they're there and the original is issued that side, say they commission that side and then they send a copy. They take a photo and send you a copy of a certified copy. Now you have a copy of a certified copy.
You see?
You know, do you need to now certify that copy? And if you need to certify a copy, then you need the original.
Which was the fucking point?
Which is in the motherfucking Eastern Cape. What the fuck are you telling me, bro? Fuck are you telling me, bro? But that's what she's telling me. I cool, whatever. You know. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah. No, that's what I was trying to ask around as well. Is like, how do you get around to that? Because that's going to be tricky. But I'm sure there's a way, you know, corner. So once you get you get the certified copy, and then how do you? What are the documents you need for like a permit?
And then you need the affidavit. Now, the assumption is like these niggas have got like the template of this affidavit at the SAPS.
Yeah.
So then the understanding is you could walk up to the SAPS and say, yo, I need an affidavit to allow me to travel to this province or between provinces or between districts or municipalities or whatever for purposes of a funeral. This is the death certificate, certified or commissioned or whatever, Then you complete the form, then they stamp it for you, sign it, and that's your permission. Those are the permits that you need in order to, you know, travel. Now, those are just like the technical difficulties to not get, like, I guess, arrested or fined on the roads.
Yeah.
You know, the trickier things is like, you know, the actual funeral, like what changes, you know?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah, because like, bro, like there's a lot of people. I've got siblings who are in different provinces and shit like that who are going to be traveling. So you say we've limited it to 50. Of that 50 people, I can say a significant number is not necessarily going to be from local, right? Yeah. So there's those people traveling from wherever. So you don't know what you're traveling with, you know. You get there and then the day-to-day of
what you mean? What you travel?
What I'm saying is if you don't know you got the fucking Ronies, nigga, you ain't know you got the Ronies, nigga. What the fuck you mean?
Hey, nigga, you ain't gonna trust family. You ain't trust nobody. Nobody's safe right now.
No, nigga, I love family. But that's what I'm trying to say is like, that's the risk that comes with family. That's what comes with that type of situation. It's like, yeah, bro, like, that comes with it, right?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but I make the point on the side, but it's not enough of a point to hinder me from making the journey in the first place. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But motherfuckers who are talking about like curbing flattening the curve or shit like that. Yeah, those niggas don't give a fuck if you love the nigga or you know the nigga or you related to the nigga. No, stay at home, nigga. You coming from Johannesburg, from Emlazi in Joburg, which technically is like a high infection area within Johannesburg.
Really?
The north of Johannesburg, because like motherfuckers be traveling, catching this shit from overseas. Where do they get? Fucking Johannesburg. Where do they stop? Motherfucking Samson. You know what I'm trying to say? These niggas are here to do business deals. These motherfuckers are here. You know what I'm trying to say? Niggas are in transit. So the assumption is like, yeah, there's definitely a high concentration of this shit, these areas. So people are moving from different areas to one place. And when you get there, there's like activities. So for example, Sizopeg, do you cater for a funeral? Right? How do you ensure that process is not, is that process affected by COVID-19 in any way? Like how you cater for, we dig our own graves, like as a community, and grave digging is like an early in the morning activity. Early in the morning, it's cold, nigga. So niggas is there cold, snot and everything, digging it for sure, my nigga. You know what I'm trying to say? So in environments like those, this is a pandemic for real. How do you then, adjust those processes, I guess, in line with the whole theory of flattening the curve? So now motherfuckers might have to think about cremation as
exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say. It's like, because I was questioning, I honestly just don't know the truth. I'm not even questioning the actual truth. I just don't know it. But like, how far does it go? How far deep does burying our people go? Like, what does cremation take away from maybe our cultural,
how long
spiritual?
Maybe the real question is, how long have you been burying our people? Have we always been burying the dead? I mean, you wouldn't want everybody.
We've always been doing something. But the thing is,
we've always been like disposing of the body.
True, but now we've always been burying, because we can date as far as like the pharaohs in the fucking pyramids. They were buried, technically. Somebody buried in a tomb full of gold, mega shit. So
yeah.
So yeah. So we've been burying, but I'm just questioning, like, what does cremation take away from our spiritual being, or
I love how you ask the questions. You ask these questions. I don't know about spiritually, but think about like socially, like funerals in a family is like, firstly, you're forced to come together. Secondly, right, you're forced to come together. And secondly, it's not about you, whoever you are. It's not about you, whoever you are. It's not about you, whatever gripes you might have. So it might turn out to be that like funerals are good, like reconciliatory, like turf for the family, It's spaces that where even if there is a beef, if the beef were to be sparked under those circumstances, there would be more energy directed towards neutralizing that beef for the sake of we family type of situation. So like being at home for 3 days or 4 days leading up to the funeral, and like all the things that happen, like seeing family, going through all of that, is like socially it does something as far as like building the building blocks of the family. People who haven't seen each other in a while, If that's now a thing that only me and the people I live with can participate in, how does that change maybe the family dynamics in general?
Well, because now I hear you, and that's right. But then I think we can say the same thing for marriages, no? In terms of bringing the family
but
together.
People die way more than people get married.
And that's part of the point. That's part of this shit. Like, firstly, we're running out of goddamn space to bury everybody. Everybody buried on top of everybody else. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, if everybody dying quicker, then cremations should be more of a thing because they're quicker, they efficient. Plus, you get to keep your motherfucking ashes, bro. Honestly, you know how many people don't get to visit people's their loved ones' graves as much as they want to. Now imagine if you had the motherfucking ashes and you travel wherever you go with them, if they're on your authority type shit, you'd be good, bro. You'd be sorted whenever. Like, I don't know. I'm just
Are you saying therapeutically, like the process of mourning might be better with an urn in the house instead of
absolutely
of
off a gravesite
of
somewhere
coffin
far
somewhere
where I can't.
with like millions of other dead people where it'll take me hours to find.
Yes, and another thing is, one may argue that because I know a lot of stories and I've been to a lot of funerals where it was a thing where make sure na ugogo noma umama wasemzini uzongcwatshwa either nabakubo nosisi bakhe abashona before her or noma wakhe or nomuntu wakhe umyeni wakhe, whatever the case may be. So there's that. Maybe ngcwabe ndawonye, they'll share the bond in eternity as well type situation, which I can understand. But if you're going to talk spiritually, then we're almost discarding the whole body situation, the whole physical situation. So it doesn't matter what ends up happening to your physical. If your spiritual being, if your spirit can end up being with who it's supposed to, whichever other spirit is supposed to be, like, you get what I'm saying, type shit. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just weird sometimes.
If once you're dead, it doesn't matter what happens to your body. It doesn't matter what happens to your body.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
And then for us, it actually matters where we keep
It's
it.
cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, like
it's quicker.
It matters to us how we discard. Yeah.
Yeah. So, shit, nigga. Shit. Why the fuck don't cremate? Keep the ashes. You'd be good.
Hey, nigga, there's a cost to that, Another thing that I have to consider is like, so now I got the abridged birth certificate to go see my daughter, but now tomorrow I gotta head out to the funeral. When I come back, I can't just go see my daughter or go see anybody.
Yeah. Because the quarantine got to start over.
Because like my quarantine has got to be like intense now because I have technically been in I don't know, maybe it's the same thing as going to a grocery store. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's exactly the same as going to a grocery store. Maybe I'm exaggerating it because I have to travel, to do it, and it's a funeral or whatever.
And here's another thing I'm thinking. Everyone there knows we're on lockdown, knows what the fuck is going on. So you can expect a lot of motherfucking sanitation to be readily available, used quite often, and I mean, it's the precautions you're taking is valid, but shit, nigga, I think people gonna be taking care about themselves. Nobody's gonna be,
Yes, listen. If anybody's listening and wants to start a trend, and it's a shitty trend for me to be requesting, but I'm saying if anybody's got tips on how to make funerals COVID safe, you know how when you go to a restaurant, you can get halal food and you can get kosher. Yeah, we need COVID funerals. COVID kosher funerals. Somebody needs to come with a guideline. Because like listen, maybe as Black people, we just aren't built to like not give a fuck, not come together, not mourn, not share, not comfort, not, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Not come together and just be there to physically support. You know what I'm trying to say? Like in the time of death, it's not easy for motherfuckers to say, "I cool, whatever."
Yeah, we need closure.
Family members to say, "Yeah, nigga ngbali mina, man bala lo 50 nigga ngbali." Just fine, nigga ngbali lo.
Shit.
So if anybody's got a family, a funeral, a COVID kosher funeral recipe, please put it out online. Because Because really, I mean, I can imagine like how crazy infection levels are at like funerals and shit like that. Because like motherfuckers is coming from all over the place, you know? And it's rare that you see a funeral where it's sunny. It's always raining. Even on TV, funerals, it's always like a cold. It's always a day where you could catch the flu. Is all I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And I'm with you. It's gonna be tricky. But man, I don't know. Hope it goes well though.
All right, nigga. That's all on my side from the COVID updates. Hopefully, yeah, nigga, we survive this shit. On your side, do you have anything on your list of items to get into?
Not about COVID. Corey can chill. So some interesting thing happened. There's this trilogy of movies, and I forget the.
Yo, just watch out. There's wind where you are, bro.
What, you can hear the shit?
No, not now, but like when a gust of wind comes through, I can hear it.
Yeah, no, I don't know how to tell God to stop that for a second, but okay.
No, it's cool. I can hear you. You're clear.
Anyway, so there's this trilogy of movies, and I think the first one I forget is the first one, right? But it's Unbreakable and Split are the two that I'm remembering, and then there's the first one.
Those movies by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. So, my sleeping ass, I finally got around to watching Split last night.
This nigga, right?
Right? And that shit was crazy. Because I tried watching it on my own, and the starting of it is honestly discouraging. It's unlike the other two movies. Those had a good starting to make you follow some shit. But for me, it was like, whatever. And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh, shit. And then the ending was fucking epic. Right? And then I was just thinking about it. It was crazy. And then this morning, I was like, yo. So to break this shit down, just to remember the shit, that nigga had split personalities, and they all believed that they were them. They were existential. They were their own personality.
They were real.
Yeah, they were real, right?
And separate from everybody else.
Absolutely, nigga. Absolutely. They had their own sicknesses. They had their own fucking language barriers or language strengths. Nigga.
They had different like strength abilities. There was a baby, and there was like a fucking old lady, and there was a fucking crazy motherfucker.
There was a gay nigga who loved fashion, who was Barry. There was a lot of other characters, because there was 23 in total that were known personalities. That shit was insane, bro. But now they play on the concept of belief, right? They believe
it so much it becomes real. Yeah,
it's fucking real, right? And then because there were 23 different personalities all believing in their own thing, that's the power of 23 different minds all in one. It's just unfortunate they couldn't activate all at the same time, which would be insane. Which is the concept they're playing with when they talk about how people who suffer from certain mental illnesses may be more evolved due to that. Like certain other parts of their brains have been accessed, and I don't know. I've always had this crazy theory. I don't know for what reason. I don't know where it came from. But back in the day when you'd see a lot of mad people on the roads, in the streets, in the hoods, like sasazi ukuthi khona inhlanya, sasazi ukuthi khona uhlanya ehlala ngala ezantsi kanjani kanjani, ungahluphi nje, leave him alone type situation, and everything will be good. And then so you saw this growing up, and then this one time I remember thinking, I'm like, yo, what if that nigga, something may have happened, maybe he got into an accident and bumped his head or some shit like that happens, and another part of your brain he accesses another part of his brain that's not supposed to happen naturally or organically, and that imbalance drives him crazy. Like, not even him crazy to us, like he's now operating on that level, and it's like his brain is just processing too quickly. He can't even get it on other shit. I know, right? Stick with me on this, right? I'm saying, so that is what creates uhlanya in our perspective, because he's not here, like he's not here type thing. But anyway, so that back to the movie, then they play with that Uguti. The mentally ill are more evolved. Even so, the movie ends where these niggas, there's this character Dennis and this other lady, these two personalities, they believe they can talk to each other. They're cool with each other. They kick it, and then they have this belief that there's this monster. And they describe the monster, they give it its characteristics, it can climb up walls and whatever, and they believe in it so much that it becomes real. And these motherfuckers were doubting. It's like, yo, even the psychiatrist who believed this nigga was doubting the belief in the monster, like the creation of the monster. Like, come on now, like the human body gotta have limits. You can't just grow tall.
Yeah, because those motherfuckers were describing somebody with like fucking Bigfoot powers. That's what the fuck they're describing.
Nigga, it's like a big ass nigga who's tall as shit, who's ripped up with muscles, has hairy fucking knuckles, can climb up the walls and shit. So they believed in so much, they created that shit. That nigga actually fucking transformed into that shit. Now, I know people know it's a movie. We all know it's a movie, but it's the concept of.
It's all happening on the same body, bro. Like that. Nigga, why does he not? How are injuries not like catching up with like personalities? How are they not all injured?
And this nigga had journals, bro. Like, yeah, he recorded digital journals of different characters. Like, there's this one character who comes up is like, huh? They don't believe us? They think we're not real? Then why the fuck am I the only one who needs insulin or some shit like that? He needed this injection. He needed some medication to keep going. He's like, how the fuck am I the only one who needs this shit? And it's some real shit. So that therapist knew it, but had her doubts or whatever. So it had her limits, rather, let me say. So the monster comes out, big as shit. This nigga can really motherfucking climb on walls because he simply fucking believes in this shit. And an important thing in the movie, they say there was a study of this therapist had a patient that was blind, right? Patient was blind for a long time in her life, and then suddenly developed this the splits, the side, they call it side or whatever, but the split personality.
Yeah, split personality.
Yeah, she developed 3 of those, and all 3 of those were sighted. She could see, those other ones could see. So the belief in the sight, like, I don't know, cured the membrane, your fucking eye membranes or whatever.
But like, how do you believe that you can do something that you've never experienced yourself doing before?
But it's the mere fact that you don't believe in anything else. You don't see it in any other way. Your brain needs to.
But like, if you're blind and you've never seen a tree, right? How can your belief, your imagination create a tree?
No. You're not imagining shit. That's what I'm saying. You become sighted the same way babies are born sighted. They don't choose to be or imagine themselves seeing. That's just their reality. So
you can cure physical ailments with
absolutely.
just the willpower. Like fucking One Punch Man.
Your brain. Yeah. your brain is gonna send out, if you believe, you send this signal to your brain. It's like, yo, I don't give a fuck what the fuck is going on. This is how shit really is. This is what I believe in it. And your brain makes it work, because your brain always has to make sense of everything, of your whole body, of your situation. That's why even if you see something running past, you can quickly try to imagine what it was. Either a man running fast, or nokwaja, or a dog, or your brain's trying to make sense of what the fuck was going on, right? So even the body reflects the same way. So the monster comes through in the shit, in the movie, and then kills all those innocent girls or whatever who've never experienced pain. They were talking about being broken, mentally broken. So no mental illnesses. You haven't gone through a pain that breaks you emotionally, like that, right? And then fucks up the two other girls, and then gets to the third girl, discovers that she'd been abused as a kid, so she been broken. Like her mental is crazy as well. And she chill, and the monster chills. There's like, oh shit, you're pure. You've been through some shit. You know life. You can understand pain.
It's
right?
what those motherfuckers were saying in Bird Box. So what the fuck was that movie? Bird Box?
No, Bird Box was fucking crazy. That was just
But
stupid. I didn't.
listen to me. But when
Yeah.
listen, when crazy people who escaped from a mental asylum and they saw the crazy shit, the nigga who got into the house said, "You must see." Right? Because like in those crazy motherfuckers, that it's like an analogy, a similar analogy to this motherfucker saying, because this girl's been through trauma, she's pure, right? It's similar to those crazy people saying, because they've seen whatever that craziness is, you know, that's the way to go. Everybody should be going in that way. But continue.
Yeah, the reason let me just say I agree with that. What I just didn't like in the movie is that the crazy people were still affected, and they probably ended up killing themselves once they convinced everybody else to kill themselves. But yeah, it's fine. So in this movie,
the crazy people were the only ones who didn't kill nobody. They're the only ones who were like,
no, they were showing
not
the
crazy.
others. They were showing the others this thing causing them to kill themselves. So they were also possessed in a way. But yeah, that's whatever. This thing, the monster ends up leaving the girl. But the classic line that he said before he left is like, oh shit, now I forgot this line. I wanted to quote it. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. hold on. Oh shit, yeah, he said, right? This nigga is approaching the fucking girl. She got a shotgun. He approaches, she shoots him point blank with a shotgun. Human body in this monster form, monster belief. This nigga believes his bulletproof shit.
Yeah, this nigga who believes he's fucking bulletproof.
Yeah, and he really fucking gets up from the first shot. They shoot him again with a fucking shotgun, point blank. And it takes him a while, but he gets up from the second one. How the fuck a human body does that? But anyway, and then while he's ripping the bars apart, he sees all of that shit, and he's like, the broken are more evolved, right? Speaking to the fact that she's seen some shit, so she's wait, hold on. Okay, my bad. So he's talking about the fact that she's seen some shit, so she's been broken and she survived it. She knows pain. Now that line, the broken are more evolved, because he was broken in the sense that he had the split personalities, which all had their different beliefs, which broke him because he could never stay in one fucking thing. But it caused an evolution because he could physically fit into all these different.
It was now his superpower. His brain had found out a way to keep that one body alive, right?
Yep. By switching to the
now accessed a way. Yeah, like think about it, right? If you are a human being and you have fears, I've got a fear of heights, right? And you're in a situation where you need to climb something, motherfucker, or you die,
nigga.
Wouldn't it be like cool
like,
to have a personality?
Yeah, let me switch to this nigga real quick. Let me call this nigga real quick. Hold on. Fam, it's some real shit. It was some dope shit, bro. And whenever he's
now,
yeah.
No.
Oh wait. Yeah.
Finish on the movie.
Yeah. So now, no. That's it for the movie, right? The broken are more evolved. That's the line that stuck with me. That was the concept of that movie, and the belief in yourself thereafter. Like that shit just was beautiful, right? So this morning, then it got me thinking. I was like, oh shit, what else do I know that has this concept? The motherfucking Uchiha. The more
tell me more.
Like the Uchiha's ocular power is based on the emotional strength. or the emotional outbreak. I don't know
The
which
more
comes
fucked
first.
up you are, the stronger it gets.
Yes, because the more shit you've seen and dealt with emotionally and bounced back from, the more stronger you are emotionally. It makes sense, right? Even in just us in normal life anyway. And then because you've seen some more shit, I guess the power of the eye allows you to see more shit, or whatever, however they structured that. But your powers evolve. Every time you get broken by a situation, your powers get stronger and evolve and ascend a certain level. So it was like, and they talked about it.
So when that motherfucker slaughtered his whole fucking clan, he was the strongest because he went killing all those motherfuckers. Is that what you said?
Nigga, yeah. Itachi gained his powers. Well, Itachi, when he slaughtered his clan along with the other nigga, they had already both been through some shit. They had already gained his powers. Itachi experienced the Great Ninja War. I think he was, what, 4, 5, not 4, but he was young, 8, 9, somewhere there. He saw the Great Ninja War, saw people dying in war. He was killing niggas at war. So he's been mature. It's like a maturity thing, I guess. So by the time he slaughtered them shits, it was done. So they spoke about it. The Hokage spoke about it on the show, Naruto would say it was a curse. They saw it as a curse, their emotional curse. That if we ever anger these niggas, if we ever mistreat these niggas, if some shit ever goes down, even in their old fields, without us fucking with them, they may lose control of the powers because they've been hurt that much. And
so you could never have made an Uchiha a slave.
Hell nah, nigga. Hell nah. That shit ain't working.
Yeah,
that shit ain't working out right for you, nigga. That shit ain't working out.
It's not in your best benefit to be mistreating an Uchiha. Is that what you're trying to say? It's not advisable.
It's unadvisable. Don't do that shit. Quit that.
The same way they told you Kula about the Itlanya, just leave the motherfucker alone.
Leave the motherfucker alone, bro.
It'll be cool.
You don't start some shit, there won't be no shit. But so it was just interesting. It's like, oh shit, they've been playing on this concept with the Uchiha, and then this movie. Well, it's an old movie now, but it was beautifully.
Yeah, it's like 2016.
Yeah, it was beautifully.
Unbreakable was the first of the trilogy. Split was 2016, and 2019 a movie called Glass was.
No. That's the thing. Glass is between it. Split was the last one, was it not? Because I've watched.
Split was 2016.
I've watched.
Unless you're saying the first one is like that, The Sixth Sense, the old Bruce Willis movie.
No, not that one. I've watched Unbreakable, because Unbreakable is the first one with Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson, and Bruce Willis, and then Unbreakable was this. I mean, Split, yeah.
Split was the second one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I need to watch Glass.
Then Glass would be. Yeah.
I need to watch Glass.
Well, listen, me on that part is like, I understand that. Okay, let me break it down. One, no idea is original. That idea manifests itself in many different ways under different ideologies or streams of thought or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
So it's dope to see the reoccurrence of an idea, because it means, okay, this thing has vibrated through the world enough times for the echo to still be coming back, from these different places. And there's also motherfuckers like, I know motherfuckers that I grew up with who were sane-minded, if you call it that. The niggas, left the Makayas and went to the big cities, and then niggas came back not completely there. So some niggas smoked their fucking whatever the fuck you call not crazy. You smoke your sanity away, if that's what you call it, whatever the fuck it is that you're smoking. So it's also tricky to like bottle it in that thing. So would you say that somebody who hit a bad trip and never got out of it, for example, can you see a superpower angle to that? Or are you saying that even that could be a potential breeding ground for a split personality, that can fly or fucking, super strength or great speed or whatever. Like, imagine I wake up one day, I smoke too much. I wake up, I feel like I'm fucking LeBron James, nigga. And I'm out here busting all you motherfuckers down, niggas, everywhere. Nigga, you ain't never seen me nowhere, nigga. All of a sudden, I'm on YouTube, fucking dunk videos. Who's this regular motherfucker out here just demolishing?
Hey,
niggas,
bro, listen. Hey, if you can do it, that's the shit. But the thing is, it's a different thing with a motherfucker who puts himself on a trip, because I don't think self-inducing it would be once in a trillion type chance, is what I imagine. So any
So
small,
you think most crazy people didn't? It wasn't like a consequence of dumb shit they did themselves.
no, I'm saying most crazy people may be about that life, but certain crazy people may have just been caused accidentally. Um, to have some shit like that. Or certain people who are born with it get, in most cases, like the shit on Splits, because he was born with the split personalities. That may, it's a natural organic occurrence. It may prove to something more. A mutation works like that. You just come out the box like that. So I don't know. It was some shit though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess as a Rick and Morty fan, I can never really write off the possibility that is happening, and I just don't know about it because I don't speak the language, or I'm not evolved enough to understand. You know what I'm trying to say? I guess I can't write that off. I mean, there has been like things like physical strength. Yeah, there's definitely abilities or strengths that people have because their circumstances are different. It doesn't even have to be a mental disabilities, like physical disabilities put people in circumstances where in order to adapt physically, they need to be, have a much stronger upper body than, anybody else would feel the need to have, because maybe they're crippled in their lower body or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. So, I don't know. I saw something.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, because I'm thinking, even on simple, the whole story of a mother has the strength of 100 men when she has to rescue a baby type situation. Like she can lift a car under up her baby. And as far as I know, I've heard enough stories from enough places that I trust to understand a situation like that to be possible. Mothers will do anything. Even in nature, you see animals do anything to protect their kids. So human beings are the same. And now, relating it to a story Kobe was telling, like when they asked him how he shot those legendary free throws when he tore his Achilles in the game, right? And it's like, imagine you in your house, right? You downstairs, you got your babies upstairs, you're all chilling and it's beautiful, and then suddenly the house catches on fire, right? Now imagine you're hurt in that situation. You hurt your leg, you're probably on crutches, house catches on fire, your kids is upstairs. What you gonna do? You go
become unsuccessful.
Like, you gonna be limping. Like I know you're not gonna be limping upstairs. You're gonna be running your ass upstairs. Get your kids to get up that house, right? Because when it's about he said priority, which kind of downplays the whole situation really. But it's about the importance the value of the situation. Like when something else is you value that greater than whatever the fuck pain you're going through. Like your kid,
priority,
right? Yeah. Which downplay that. I don't know.
Prioritize the life of your loved one over the pain.
Now imagine translating that fucking situation into a game. He tore his motherfucking Achilles. Nobody walks that shit off. But the game was so important because that game was getting us into the playoffs. That game, he hadn't rested the whole game. He played like 42 minutes. in that game.
Mm.
It was that important that fuck the Achilles, nigga. Fuck all of this pain. Fuck all of this shit, nigga. I don't give. Nothing matters when they talk about niggas in the zone. Nothing mattered, bro. And I swear to God, if they didn't tell Kobe to get out that game, that nigga probably would have tried to play through that shit. Like it, and so it's crazy to see that shit. In terms of just like believing one thing over another so greatly that that's what it is. It takes priority.
But there is somebody else. There is somewhere else you can look to see of another example, and this is an example you'll also appreciate, especially coming off of Kobe.
Yeah.
Netflix has got a documentary called The Last Dance.
The Last Dance.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
The fucking Michael Jordan docu. I started watching it yesterday. I think they're dropping an episode a week, like fucking next week on Dragon Ball Z. I think they've got like 2 or 3 episodes out now. It's around the last year, the year after they'd won their 5th title, when they were going for their 6th title. I think the final year of the Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and those guys.
Steve Kerr, motherfucker.
So, fucking Steve Kerr, you know. they had a camera crew around the team and Mike specifically around that time. So there seems to be quite a bit of footage available of what was happening at the time. It's dope to see like Mike, like how I'm able to see LeBron and fucking Anthony Davis and fucking, you know, like young basketball players and old basketball players who are still playing and who still just love the game, instead of like seeing Mike as this old nigga who's the legend. It's so dope seeing like a lot of footage of like him in his prime. I don't know what happened, so I'm discovering everything. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened after in the last year of the Bulls. Don't tell me, don't spoil it for me. I know they didn't win 6. Did they do 2 3-peats?
I ain't gonna spoil it for you. I ain't gonna spoil it for you.
Yeah, so that's the question, right? The question is, at the end of this day, is this gonna be epic or is it going to be sad? Because like, it would be crazy if Michael Jordan chose to do a documentary about the one season that he didn't win. That would be fucking. Then I feel like, oh, niggas is lying on Mike. Niggas say Mike always want to win. This nigga had a documentary about the one season he fucking lost. Nigga, come on, bro. You gotta love Mike. Nigga, this nigga. This nigga's humility is on 100.
That's so shit.
Yeah, but so like that, it's dope though, because it's got like a lot of like, it's just like epic figures in like Pat Riley, you know, Phil Jackson, the owner of the Bulls, you know, the team at the time, Scotty's on it, Dennis Rodman's on it, Mike, a lot of Mike's mom is on it. You know, Mike's college coaches are on it. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm like, okay, this is VIP access content, my nigga. This is VIP access content. If Mike lost, and this is what he invested himself into, he's a legend, bro. He's a legend. He didn't need a documentary. He didn't need to make his own documentary about his wins. Do you understand? But anyways, I'm just guessing here. I'm not sure how it's going to end. But I'm hyped.
You know, I saw that shit on Netflix, right? And I was mad because for the longest time I've been calling. You remember this, the Steph Curry?
Yes, the Steph Curry, Game 7.
The Game 7 game-winning 3-point shot. Like,
yes.
I was calling that was the last dance, bro. That was truly the last dance.
Jackson wrote that shit down, nigga. That nigga had titles for seasons. He had like names for seasons. Like, you know, if like you were shooting a series, and season 1 had a name. This nigga had names for seasons. That nigga had the name for that one was The Last Dance, nigga. All the way 98, 90, whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, them years was epic. Them years were truly epic. But so I'm just saying, I haven't watched it yet because I was just mad because they took the name The Last Dance. But yeah, maybe I should have read a Phil Jackson book earlier.
Hold up, let me fix something. My battery's about to die.
Okay, nigga. We're gonna take a break. It's the Why Not Podcast, sponsored by all the niggas who listen to this shit. All the beautiful ladies who listen to this shit. Come through. Check your boy out. We live, man.
You don't even know. You don't even know my name. You don't even know. Yeah. You don't even know my name. I remember when we met 2017 summertime, good December. Charlotte Glenwood, spoiler code set. So you walk by, of course I had to enter. Young Sarafina, put your number on my iPhone. On your way to work, but I can't let you go. I can't believe that you single. Sun-kissed skin, suntan, looking great sis. Let's go on a date. Phone mode, ozone pazamis. Young flame cheap, you know me. Two-way, yellow. Got some last bad shoot. Too crazy, I showed up drunk. You don't even mind, thank God we found that. Roll a jet pipe with smoke like a pan. School make the next cause I went a man. Yeah, you don't even know my name. You don't even know my name. You don't even know. Yeah, you don't even know my name. You don't even know my name. You don't even know. Back to the future. Back to the future. Credo moto. Girl, you were alien. Girl, mixed African. We was Brazilian. Or was it Peruvian? Too many questions. Ain't no question. I'm feeling that connection. Anytime we sex, I'm feeling like the best thing. You made an impression. You made an impression. I think I get the message. Sex so good, think we gotta repeat it. Take a selfie, think I might just retweet it. Ex-girl hating on you 8 times serious. I don't even mind, you so far I might keep it. One of these days, might just go in one knee it. David Daly tucks on the beach, I can see it. Big K like Scotsback, that could be it. Summertime Emlazi playlist to repeat. Yeah, you don't even know my name. You don't even know my name. You don't even know. You don't even know my name. You don't even know my name. You don't even know. I swear it feels like.
So yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, cool. Can we just do one more segment? Wally, do you have anything else to add? It's just music. It was the Bailwanster item.
Yeah,
Just
let's talk about that.
music.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Bailwanster. Let's talk about that. So, Bailwanster was named. Well, not named. He was number 1 on Miss Cosmo's top 5.
Shout outs to the nigga.
Shout outs to Bailwanster. Shout outs to the homie. And this comes off of, I saw that last week the homie was number 3 on the same top 5. So it's dope to see that it climbed up through all of that. Now, okay, let me get you. Yeah, say what you want to say about that before I get into something.
No. All I wanted to do, I just wanted to ask the question to say, so off of Spijonga Chapter 2, he had the track called Okay Fine, featuring Zulo and Solo.
Yeah.
And dope track, it's the last joint on it. And this is a track that's now top of the charts on YFM. It is YFM, right?
Yeah. I think it's 5FM. No, I think it's 5FM.
Is it 5FM?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even better, you know. I guess even better. I don't know how radio works. Is that a bigger market?
I have no idea.
I think 5FM is a bigger station than Y, so maybe that's accurate. So I wonder what that means, like for him right now. Like, you know, I'm curious to hear from him. One, what does it mean for you as an artist who's felt, I guess, overlooked in the industry? Does this feel like a look? does it feel like a look? And what does it feel like to you? Is it like what, when you were, unhappy with the amount of like attention or whatever you were getting from like the people in the industry, does this soothe that feeling? Is this experience better? Maybe COVID-19 fucks everything up because maybe it would be easier to bask in it if events and shit was still happening and you could do shit and get shows and this, that, and the third as a result of it. Maybe that dampers the spirit. But I'm very curious from a personal, like, emotional feeling. Does it feel, what does it feel like? Is that what you imagine making it to feel like? Or is making it the money? Do you understand? I'm very curious to see how that goes. And then the other question is then, like, how do you then capitalize? So you've made the music, the playlisters have liked the music and have playlisted, and the listeners have listened to the music and have put it on the top of the charts, right? So how do you capitalize? What are the practical steps of capitalizing on that portion of the journey?
Yeah, that's going to be tough to get an answer from him, I imagine, right now in this COVID state. Because I think like a lot of shows would be being planned and whatever. But yeah, we'll definitely have a sit down. I'm curious though, for one of two things. One, which did you imagine that song to be the one that's on radio from the project?
Yeah, nigga, that was the song. That was like my top song as far as like musicality and like what I would pick to be the one to have popped. Yes, that's the one that I would pick to pop.
No, okay, I get you, and that's the right answer as well. But in terms of radio singles, I thought the bike song would be something someone would catch on to a lot more. Like a radio jockey would catch on to a lot more, or an A&R person at radio.
I'm sure there's an East Coast radio jockey that's playlisting.
Yeah, definitely.
Personally, it was lost in the sequence of preference. Okay, Fine was at the top and the bike song was at the bottom.
On your personal Shandis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was at the bottom. On my
absolutely.
Shandis was at the bottom.
I agree. It's the first on the list of 4. I agree. But honestly, I just thought on radio that's the single someone would have picked. But I'm glad. I love the fact that it was Okay Fine, because that's my favorite song as well of that E chapter 2. Now, a second thing I'm curious about is, does it take getting on radio, getting number 1 on someone's top 40, top 10, top whatever, for the conversation to begin around your name? Because I said this a couple of weeks ago, like, I still haven't heard anyone, any podcast, even the podcast, talking about, when they're talking about upcomers, people who...
That's what you mean. Say it with your chest, nigga. No, say it with your chest. You haven't had the...
Yeah, I haven't heard
anyone. The podcast talk about it.
Not even because I don't wanna put them out alone as if they're the only ones who's sleeping on the kid. Everybody out here sleeping on the kid. So I don't wanna just mention them alone. Ain't nobody talking about this nigga dropping this shit when this shit has been popping. Now I didn't know whether it's because it's popping on the internet and is part of our circle of people we know, we fucks with, and we listen to music alike. Maybe that's why it ain't getting there to them. Now I'm curious to, now that it's number 1 on Miss Cosmo's show, and she's part of the podcast specifically, will any conversations then begin? Like, I know a lot of people listen to her shit because she was a judge on Nasty C shit with MT, their live battle as well. So Miss Cosmo's plugged in to a lot of shit. Not just the fact that she's going to be now talking about it on the podcast, which I expect and can't wait to see if it happens, but even a lot of people who listen to her show, will the conversation now begin? Because all ones that has his following, just like they always talk about, your Big Hash has his following, your A-Reed has his cult following, your Nasty C's, your whoever's has their following. All ones that has his following online. So just as much as anyone. So I'm just curious to see, like, is this what it took? Is this what it takes for this shit?
My question is, what do you want them to say about the homie? Because, I mean, here's me playing devil's advocate. Miss Cosmo's got a show. It's got a top 10. Every week she's releasing a top 10.
Yeah.
And every week she's releasing an episode of the podcast. But they probably record it once a month and release it in 3 snippets between the day of recording and the next recording. So 1 recording a month. So every month, Miss Cosmo has got
hold on. I'm with you on that one. But the reason I'm bringing this up right now is because that used to be the case. Right now, they're recording COVID style. So they're also on lockdown recording just like
COVID style.
Right? They're also on lockdown recording just like us. And they're recording like 45-minute, hour-long episodes at one go and releasing them in one go and recording like 2-3 episodes a week right now. So this should having happened recently, we can expect within the next 2-3 episodes anything to be brought up. And the reason I want him to be part of the conversation is because the music he's making is some of the dopest shit out here. So we can't just be sleeping as if, okay.
So the expectation is commentary on the music.
Absolutely,
this music is good enough for you to express a view on your platform.
Since that's what you do. I'm not even asking you to go out of your way.
On this platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, listen, I think Ispi Jonget ne what's this shit? The Nights Volume 3.
Nights Volume 3. Kimosabi.
Kimosabi. I think they're also listed. Like, so there's a lot of people who are putting together lists of music that you want to listen to, like newly released music, COVID that was released either early in the year or in the time of COVID, you know. So they've definitely been like getting on a lot of those lists. So I think I was trying to ask whether outside of like a podcast, who else do you know of who is, I guess, reporting on music that you would want to hear from, like as a Bailwanster fan who I guess is a disgruntled fan because you're not seeing enough of a wave around the homie. Where exactly are you hoping to see the change? That's why I'm curious to hear from his side personally, to say, as the artist, what satisfies you? Are you looking for that mention necessarily, or economically, are you satisfied with the #1 charting song and what that means for you? Maybe the circumstances under COVID are very particular, and he might feel some type of way now that he might not ordinarily feel. Maybe he might be more lenient on the situation now under COVID, and he might be more like, nah, nigga, I'm trying to get my money,
I get that, and I can respect that, but I'm saying, as someone who's in this medium, I can understand when it's not done. It's not so much about it being done and what it means for him and what it means in the game or in the industry. It's about what it means when it's not done specifically. That's what.
So what does it mean?
It means niggas is
to know some shit that I don't.
It means that niggas is trying to blackball a motherfucker, like, which I don't understand why. I don't get it.
But blackballing though, if he's still charting, if his music is still playing on radio,
they can't stop the music.
COVID,
the music never stops. You can't stop
in the
music.
city.
That's what I'm saying. Can't stop the music.
Okay. Can't never stop the music.
Can't never stop the music. But you still can't downplay the importance of such mediums. displaying what's going on. Like the reason why I remember speaking to an artist. I'm not sure if this nigga's gonna be comfortable with me bringing up this shit, so I won't mention his name. But a Durban artist who was blowing up as well, and he was talking about how, yo, dude, I'm getting the love everywhere, but I'm not getting no love from Hype. Hype ain't say shit, and I'm waiting to be like either a freshman cover or whatever type mention. Like I'm waiting for Hype to say some shit, right? So it's because we understand in the game, we understand that these are our reporters. They're as important to us as the news is to people's daily lives, in terms of reporting about the game and what's going on. So when you ain't showing up on their radar, or when you is showing up
the motherfuckers who only
they choose to ignore you, then it means some shit.
Yeah, and I guess I understand, because like motherfuckers who only discover you because big platforms like the podcast are there are only going to discover the people on that platform that are being, discussed by the panelists on the platform like that.
And these are like
now continue.
Nah, I was just gonna say these. Even though it's on YouTube, the podcast can be looked at as a national publication still, because the people who are on it reach a lot of people nationally. Just like a Hype, just like a Sobering, just like a Dojo, for instance. So it's a thing. But yeah, I'm just curious, because the thing is, I'm curious as to why. If it is happening, why? What the fuck the kid ever done to nobody? Like, I don't get it. So that's where my curiosity with all of this came from. But yeah.
No, it'll be good to see like what, because I mean, listen, from the conversations we've had with him and we've had with other people who are interested in his career benefiting, like Ora when they were here, and we had a conversation with OJ the Juice Man.
With even DJ Lab,
even with DJ Lab, when Lab was here, he was talking about converting. You need to, I think the phrase they were using was pivot. You need to pivot from, the hype that you're getting in. You need to convert into something substantive. That's why for me, I'm more curious on how far he is, or he sees himself as being, as far as that pivoting is concerned. Does he feel like he's at a stage now where he's able to convert opportunities, or pick up on new opportunities that are open to him for him to convert?
Well, yeah, no, he can. He's the only one I think who can give you the right answers for that. So we definitely need him on board. But yeah, that's it from my side.
That's it from your side, nigga. Niggas rolling 1J. Seeing as you started the show with a J.
Yeah.
It's only right.
And it's only right.
Somebody ends the show.
It's only right, my nigga. It's only right. But yeah, nigga, right. You gonna smoke that shit in peace. I'm probably gonna roll my last one for this shift, and then I need to get on a hustle. But I'm gonna hit you up on that. But yeah, it's been a dope episode, my nigga. Shout out to everybody who's out here with us.
Blessings to everybody who's able to stay locked in. I saw Fabio talk about how he's finding it hard to stay connected to the pod because of data issues. And hey, that's tricky, bro. Is it possible to break this shit up and distribute it in smaller chunks? Maybe one version, which is the full thing, in chunks, which are just specific conversations.
Absolutely.
Does that make a difference in consumption? Absolutely. I think if you're listening to this, please also drop us comments on whether you would appreciate a version of this that's just in shorter, bite-sized portions of the content.
Tell us how long you lasted.
Yeah, ngakini. Yeah, intombi yami yinhle, intombi yakho yimbi. All over baselokishini bayinkinga. Ube uthanda ubi, umje uthanda ubi. Young Sarafina guqa phansi elimi. Shuqula iduku uveza ithanga sine. Date night like keys uveza ithanga kunyiwe. Ugogo uzothini ungenza iprofile pic. Ex yakhe izothini libe lupost emini. Young flying chick, I'm not a pretty nigga. I'm more like Dame Dash, ain't no Diddy nigga. Snap back looking like a halo. New chick looking like J-Lo. Spark. KwaZulu Republic CEO. The name is the name and the logo. Pow. My new chick a lawyer, but she local, so she let me hit her pro bono. Ho.
I got him bouncing to the Yanos. I got him dancing to the Yanos. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it. I got him dancing to the Yanos. I got him bouncing to the Yanos. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it.
Suggest you take 2 for Bison. Crazy 8 bars, my flow so damn enticing. That's Mike Tyson with them bison. When I'm sizing or snipe, Abaringa Mo gon' turn me to a Viking. Take Buddha, that's the name. Young flame, that's ahead of the game. I maintain the supernova status without packing heat. I'm like a flash driving your system. I never skip a beat. Hallelujah, Buddha. Or call me Buddha, squash a nigga. Feed you to my dogs in the dark, so gaduk trigger. Treat you like umbalo, season dwana ngizokcisha. Treat you like it's mirror or strong, kodwa ngizokminya. So step back, claiming dope but you whack. Claim you run it every time, we always skip you on tracks. And if you that rich, young, you better put it on stacks. Talk is cheap, young blood, Buddha, just talking facts.
I got him bouncing to the Yanos. I got him dancing to the Yanos. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it. I got him dancing to the Yanos. I got him bouncing to the Yanos. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it. Strigas los pizza chase, buzzles and big it.